Hi friends, and welcome to another video. My name is Jess. I'm a self-employed fit health practitioner, and in today's video I am going to tell you guys 7 mistakes to avoid. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to mention is buying secondhand. Autoclaves specifically. The reason why is because, you know, a lot of people think, you know, let's get a secondhand autoclave. It's much cheaper than, you know, spending over £1,000 on a new autoclave. Now, I just want to warn you guys, I mean, it is okay as long as you make sure that you have all the paperwork, because if you don't have all the paperwork, it can go wrong. Now, when I say all the paperwork, like the servicing history, all that type of stuff that you need. My story here is that I bought myself a secondhand autoclave. It had no history whatsoever. Bought it home, and then I was like, okay, so I probably need to get it serviced because obviously there was no paperwork. I rang around, and apparently the autoclave was old and they didn't have the parts for that particular autoclave anymore. So I lost myself hundreds of pounds, and that was a massive mistake of mine, a mistake that I will never ever make again, and I hope that you guys won't either. The next thing is to save money from the get-go. So from when you first start practicing and seeing clients and you get your first pay, make sure to put money aside. Now, this is money aside for rainy days, it is money aside for your pension, and it's money aside for, you know, things that you will need to pay out in bulk. For example, for your insurance or for servicing of your autoclave, and most importantly, putting money aside for your tax, because you will need to pay tax. 20% of what you earn has to go to the tax man. So just make sure that you save it, guys. Open up an account and put your money in there and don't touch it. Okay, now this was a big mistake for me, and it was my business name. When I first started out, I was like, yes, I'm gonna have a business name. I got all my flyers printed, my business cards, and then I realized that somebody had the same business name as me in my area, and it was awful. I spent so much money. I didn't do as much research as what I should have done. I mean, I did look around, but they didn't pop up at all. So when you are thinking of a business name, make sure to thoroughly make sure that nobody's got your business name, okay? Because you do not want the same business name as somebody else. You want to be unique, you want to be different. I know that a lot of people end up just using their own names as their business name, which is fine. So when you do think of a business name, try to make it easy for people to say and also to spell so that people can find you easily. You don't want a complicated name that people aren't going to remember or aren't able to say, because, you know, you want people to spread your name to the nations, to the world, so that you can get new clients, right? So keep it simple, okay? Keep it simple. So this is number 4, and it is setting your prices too low. Guys, don't do this. Please don't do this, because it is so hard to raise your prices once you set it at a certain price. So I started off where my prices were too low. I hadn't worked out all my overheads or anything like that. I just thought, yeah, I'm going to charge this amount of money, and I realized that I was actually earning minimum wage, if not less. So make sure that you work out your overhead costs, make sure that you are earning more than what is going out to, you know, sustain your business and to continue your business as you would want it to. So I still have some clients that are at that low price, and I'm gradually rising it up to what it is now, but it is very, very difficult. So make sure that from the beginning your prices are right. So the next thing is to make sure you keep all of your receipts and your invoices, because you will need this at your end of year tax to be able to, you know, submit it and to claim money back. This also includes, you know, when you go to the petrol station and you buy gas, make sure that you keep those receipts. Also, when you go out to lunch and you've forgotten your lunch, for example, or then you go to the shop and you buy yourself something, you can also claim that back. So just make sure to keep all of your receipts and all of your invoices, because in the long run you will gain your money back, or some of it anyway, and you know, it's good to be pretty organized as well. So number 6 is a biggie, okay, and this is to not follow the trend. Now what do you mean, Jess? What do you mean do not follow the trend? When you become a fit health practitioner and you're on these forums, people are trying this, they're trying that, this is the best, this is the best. And then in the end, you're like, okay, I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try that. And by the time you know it, you've spent hundreds of pounds on things that you don't ever use and that you didn't really want in the first place. I've done it and I totally regret it. You know, this is why, in a way, it's really important that when you have a business plan, you're on course with what you're doing. You know where you're going. You know what type of things you want to do. You're not going to be influenced by what is going on around you or what other foot health practitioners are doing. Although sometimes it can be inspiring and encouraging, but you need to focus on what you're doing and where you're going, especially when it's with courses. I know that I've gone on particular courses because other foot health practitioners have, and it's been something I didn't want to do, to be honest, and I've wasted a whole lot of money on it. So just make sure not to follow the trend. Know what you want for your business and then go in that direction. And number 7 is buying too much stuff. I love shopping, guys. I really do. But sometimes, you know, you can buy too much stuff that you don't actually need. Now, when you first start out as a foot health practitioner, you don't really know what you like. You know, you haven't really tried out all the products. So, you know, you do kind of feel like you need to buy this and you need to buy that. But try, if you can, to not do that. There are places that you can go to, or there are, you know, companies that are happy to send you samples. Now, when I say places to go to, I am talking about conferences, because when you go to a conference, there are loads of suppliers there of instruments, consumables. How do you say that word? But there are people there that you can, you know, you can look and you can feel and you can see what it is that you want to buy. Now, a lot of these conferences, you don't have to be a foot health practitioner. You could be on training. I know that I went to one and I wasn't a foot health practitioner. I paid for it and I went, and yeah, I experienced the whole thing and I saw some products, and you know, it was a good time. So if you can, if there's like a particular product that you like, maybe think about contacting that company and asking for some samples. I know that there are some other places where you can buy some samples before you commit to, you know, spending a whole load of money. So just make sure to be wise, guys, and yeah, think before you buy. Right, guys, those are my 7 mistakes to avoid. So some of these I have, you know, made big mistakes on, and I've learned from my lessons. Sometimes that is the best way, in a way, but I want to try and help you guys to avoid these mistakes. Yeah, and I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please do like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.